Hi, my name is Kim Patton, and I'm going to be talking about our very long infertility and adoption story, summed up by the high points. My husband Kevin and I were married in 2010, and we right away went to finish up our school, and we moved to Dallas so he could do his graduate program. And we decided early on that we would wait to have kids, so we didn't start trying actually for about 5 years. So in 2015, we moved to Florida, and it was a very exciting move. We had new jobs, and we had a fresh start, so we decided to start trying for a family. And we kind of expected it not to take too long. I come from a big family, so I didn't foresee any problems, but of course, there were problems. The way we dealt with that was just trying to go to the doctor and figure out what was wrong. After about a year of trying without getting pregnant, we thought it might be something seriously going on. So we did preliminary tests, but unfortunately we could not afford more in-depth tests that would give us further answers. So we had to wait a few years for that. And we were also misinformed by some doctors, unfortunately. So we hit some snags early on in our infertility journey. And the infertility doctor that we met with diagnosed us in 2018 with unexplained infertility. So not only could we not get pregnant, but we didn't have a reason for why we couldn't get pregnant. So we were very frustrated, but we also were trying to be patient and just figure out, what to do next. So it became very clear in the coming years that we did not want to explore further medical treatment. At least I didn't. That was something that I had to make a decision about. Did I want to do more tests? Did I want to do treatment? Did I want to try for, IVF or IUI, which is just different procedures that they can do for people struggling to keep a pregnancy. But I said, what are our other options? And my husband Kevin was leaning towards foster care, and he took me to an event in Orlando called Wait No More, and it was an event put on Focus on the Family that really focused on foster care and adoption. And I was not too thrilled to go to that event, to be honest. He kind of had to coax me out of the car once we got there and parked, because I just wasn't sure if I could handle it. So we went to the event, we talked to people, we asked a lot of questions, we listened to a lot of hard stories, and we decided that yes, we wanted to move forward with adoption. So fast forward several months later, we actually applied for our first infant situation, which was a baby born in Orlando, a little baby boy who was a safe haven baby. His birth parents left him at the hospital in medical care, and he had to have an emergency surgery, and he was in need of a Florida family to adopt him. So Kevin and I applied, and we were super excited because we thought, this is it, this is the baby that God is sending to us. And then they didn't pick us, and we were so disappointed. But I can see now how that was a turning point, because it really showed us both that, one, we were ready to be parents, and two, we were wanting a baby. So then we started applying for more infant situations, and we did that for about 4 months, and that was a really difficult process because we would read the paperwork, apply for the situations that we felt like fit us, and then we would just have to wait and see if people chose us. And in some cases we had to name these babies that we didn't even know if they were going to be ours, and they asked us to name these babies, and it was just really emotional. So at the end of that, we got foster training. We went to foster training, and we didn't go to actual training. We did the orientation, but we were looking to be potential foster parents.
Because we gave up on adoption.
Yeah, so the adoption was looking rough, and so we thought, oh, we could adopt older kids in Florida that are already ready to be adopted and need a family. So that was the route that we thought we were gonna go down, is maybe adopting a sibling group and becoming like an instant family, like the movie. So when we got the text about Eden in February of 2020, she was only 3 weeks from being born when we found out about her, and we met her beautiful birth mother, Ashley, and our caseworker, who walked us through the very, very quickly walked us through what we needed to do to, we already had been home study approved, but we needed to do a few more things to adopt Eden, but Ashley had to choose us, and when she saw our profile, she was very excited, and she did choose us. And we were like, what? 3 weeks to go before we become parents? So we went from waiting for a baby, not sure what's happening, having no baby things in our house whatsoever. I had one pair of shoes and one blanket and I think one toy, because I just couldn't collect things until I knew where our children were coming from and what ages they were going to be even. So I was not prepared for a baby. So it was a very stressful few weeks, but then Eden came, and I can't even explain how you feel when you bring home this beautiful baby with a head full of hair, and they're like, yeah, this is Eden, this is your daughter, and we know, okay, this is our daughter, but I know where she came from. I know the birth mother. The birth mother gave her to me, gave her to us. And it was just very humbling, very surreal. It took me months to process even what being a mother meant, and even just feeling like her mother, because I know she didn't come from my body, and so when I looked at her, it was just so hard to believe that she was ours. So that was Eden, and we started our life of just the three of us, going on walks, lots of walks, holding her constantly because she loved to be held and she did not like to be by herself. Just getting through the normal newborn baby stuff and adjusting to a family of 3. And then when she was 9 months old, we got a text message from Ashley, who we have an open relationship with. So all throughout Eden's first 9 months, we were texting back and forth, sending pictures, talking, just developing a relationship that was very good for us and for Ashley, and eventually it will be for Eden to be, to know where she came from. And she texted us on Halloween of 2020 that she was pregnant. And I just looked at Kevin and said, here's a pregnancy test. Ashley said, do you want a baby? I mean, to say those words, it's just so mind-blowing. And we immediately knew, yes, biological siblings and adoption is huge. We knew it would be great for Eden to have a sibling. But Eden was only 9 months old. She was still a baby herself. And then Ashley was telling me about another baby coming. And it was a lot to process, but we had almost the whole entire pregnancy to process it and to plan and to just talk about it and figure out, okay, we're really going to have 2 kids 16 months apart. How are we going to do this? We were about to sell our house, so God provided the money to do the second adoption right after we had just done the first adoption, which was very expensive. So we knew we could, okay, maybe pull it off. So Shiloh was born in May. She was born 1 month early, so not only was she a preemie at less than 5 pounds, but our girls were now 15 months apart and not 16 months. So we have our hands full, to say the least. But they are biological siblings. We have a great relationship with Ashley. I was able to be there for the birth for Shiloh because of COVID. Kevin unfortunately couldn't go to the hospital until after the adoption papers were signed, and that was a few days later. And he was able to meet Shiloh then, and she was in the NICU for 10 days, but then she came home. So that is our story. We are grateful, we are tired, we are a little bit stressed. We have our hands full, and we just can't believe that these two little girls are ours, and we'll be taking them to amusement parks and camping and road trips throughout their childhoods. It's just an unbelievable blessing, and I pray that our story gives people hope that no matter where you are in your struggles, whether it's waiting for kids or trying to get pregnant or suffering with miscarriages and loss, we believe that God brought us the kids that He wanted us to have. And in all the craziness, we have to accept that, yeah, this is our family, and we're very grateful.